I wanted my money back. It was very disappointing.
They are pretending like Rachel Zegler is the fairest of them all when she looks like Lord Farquaad in the film.
The Snow White version is woke and feminist and progressive.
Rachel Zegler, like so many kids raised on TikTok, she's all for infantada is the only global solution.
Leaning into woke. Hardcore.
They're petrified of some kind of backlash.
So she comes off as an insufferable, whiny brat.
Of course, like with everything on the left these days, they just take it too far.
It just doesn't make any sense.
It makes a little bit more sense.
You can gaslight people so easily.
Yes.
The new Disney boss babe, who is Rachel Zegler, the inverse of happy.
Nobody
Who
wants
wants
that.
a movie about true love? What kind of woman do we want out there seeking true love, Eliana? It's the outrage.
So the two stars hate each other.
Now, I'm guessing that she's not married. I'm guessing that she doesn't have kids. The movie is a complete disaster, by the way.
Every way that Disney changed the story, it changed it for the worse.
So apparently, according to them and according to the writers of Snow White, women can't even want to be in love anymore.
Today we're talking about something wild. The new live-action Snow White movie with Rachel Zegler. You know, the one that was supposed to be super cool but ended up being a total disaster? Yeah, that one. I'm going to break it all down for you in a way that's super easy to understand, even if you're in 6th grade. We'll keep it fun, casual, and maybe even crack a few jokes along the way. So grab some popcorn, kick back, and let's dive into this fairy tale flop. What's a live-action movie anyway? Okay, let's start with the basics. You've probably seen the old Snow White cartoon from 1937, right? It's got the princess, the 7 dwarfs, the evil queen, and all that classic fairy tale stuff. Well, a live-action movie is when they take that cartoon and remake it with real people instead of drawings. Disney's been doing this a lot lately. Think Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast, or even The Lion King. Well, kinda, with those fancy CGI animals. It's like taking your favorite animated video game characters and turning them into real-life actors. Pretty cool idea, huh? So when Disney said, hey, we're making a live-action Snow White, people got hyped. Everyone was like, ooh, I can't wait to see Snow White and the dwarfs in real life. But, uh-oh. Things didn't go as planned. This movie turned into a giant mess, and I'm here to tell you why. Meet Rachel Zegler, Snow White. Herself. First up, let's talk about the star, Rachel Zegler. She's an actress who got famous for singing her heart out as Maria in West Side Story. She's got an amazing voice, so you'd think she'd be perfect to play Snow White, who's all about singing with birds and dwarfs, right? Well, not exactly. Rachel said some stuff that made people mad. In interviews, she called the original Snow White weird and outdated. She even laughed at the prince, saying he was basically a stalker. Imagine if someone took your favorite book and said, this is lame, I'm better than this. You'd be annoyed, right? That's how a lot of fans felt. They were like, don't trash our Snow White. Then Rachel got into even more trouble online. In 2024, she posted some angry stuff about politics, like telling people who liked a certain president that she hoped they'd never know peace. Whoa, harsh. It's like if you got mad at half your class and yelled at them on social media. People didn't like that vibe, and some even said, I'm not watching her movie. She tried to say sorry later, but it didn't really fix things. One famous person, Megyn Kelly, was like, fire her. Yikes. Rachel's attitude started turning fans away before the movie even came out. Disney's big changes to the story now. Let's get into what Disney did with Snow White. The original story is simple. A kind princess gets poisoned by an evil queen, lives with 7 dwarfs, and gets saved by a prince. Happily ever after, the end. But Disney decided to shake things up for this new version. They wanted it to feel modern, but some people think they broke it instead. Here's what they changed. Bye-bye prince. In the old movie, the prince saves Snow White with a kiss. Classic fairy tale move. But in this one, they basically kicked him out. Rachel said, she's not waiting for some guy to save her. She's dreaming about being a leader. So no romance, just Snow White being a tough boss. Some kids might think that's cool, like being the captain of your soccer team. But a lot of fans miss the love story. It's like ordering ice cream and getting broccoli instead. Still good for you maybe, but not what you wanted. What happened to the dwarves? Okay, this part's wild. In the cartoon, the 7 dwarves are little miners with funny names like Dopey and Grumpy. They're a big deal. But Disney couldn't decide what to do with them here. First, they wanted real actors who are little people, like in the old movie. Then, an actor named Peter Dinklage, he's awesome in Game of Thrones, said, hey, maybe that's not a good idea. It feels old-fashioned. So Disney switched to CGI creatures, like glowing cartoon helpers you'd see in a video game. But then they changed it again and made them diverse bandits. A mix of different people, but not really dwarfs anymore. Huh? It's like if your teacher kept changing the rules of a game until you didn't know how to play anymore. Fans were confused and mad. Snow White's new attitude. In the original, Snow White is sweet. She cleans the dwarfs' messy house and cooks for them because she's grateful they took her in. But in this movie, she's more like a bossy leader. She breaks into their house and tells them to clean up. Picture this. You let a friend crash at your place and they start ordering you around. You'd be like, excuse me? That's how the dwarfs and some fans felt. It didn't feel like the Snow White they loved. What's this woke thing everyone's talking about? You might hear people say this movie was too woke. What does that even mean? Okay, imagine woke is like being super aware of what's fair, like making sure everyone in your class gets a turn to play no matter who they are. That's a nice idea. But sometimes people say a movie is too woke when it tries so hard to be fair and modern that it forgets to be fun. With Snow White, Disney wanted to show a strong girl who didn't need a prince and a diverse group of helpers. Cool, right? But some fans felt like Disney cared more about teaching lessons than telling a magical story. It's like if your favorite comic book hero stopped fighting bad guys and started giving speeches about teamwork instead, you'd be like, just punch the villain already. The songs, not so sing-along. One of the best things about the old Snow White is the music. Who doesn't love Hi-Ho or Someday My Prince Will Come? Those songs stick in your head, but in this new movie, they ditched the classics and made new ones. Big mistake. The new songs were supposed to be modern, but they didn't fit. There's one called Your Wish Come True, where Snow White sings about making dreams happen by echoing. Like what? Echo, echo, echo. It's confusing, like a riddle with no answer. Another song, Mirrors Lie, is the evil queen complaining for way too long. Even though Rachel's a great singer, these tunes didn't have that fairy tale sparkle. It's like if your favorite band stopped playing catchy hits and started singing about homework. Boring. Fans on YouTube were like, what is this mess? Snow White is supposed to be a musical, not a lecture. No one's humming these songs at recess, that's for sure. Why did the movie flop so hard? All right, here's the big question. Why did this movie bomb? When a movie bombs, it means it didn't make money and people didn't like it. Disney spent $300 million making Snow White. That's a ton of cash, like filling a swimming pool with dollar bills. They hoped it'd make at least $150 million on opening weekend, but it only made $43 million. Oof, that's a fail. Here's what went wrong. Rachel's drama. Rachel's comments about the old movie being weird and her online rants made people mad. It's like if you told your friends their favorite show stinks, they might not invite you to watch it with them. Fans started saying, I'm skipping this because of her. Too many changes. The story didn't feel like Snow White anymore. No prince, weird dwarves, bossy Snow White. It was like a totally different fairy tale. Imagine if someone remade your favorite video game but took out all the best levels. You'd be like, this isn't my game. That's how fans felt. Families stayed home. Disney movies are usually huge with kids and parents. Think of all the princess dresses and popcorn at Frozen or Moana. But this time, families didn't show up. Theaters were quiet, no lines, no buzz. Some parents thought it was too preachy, like a school lesson instead of a fun movie. Kids wanted songs and magic, not speeches about being a leader. In the end, Disney lost millions. Like if you spent all your birthday money on a toy that broke the next day. Total bummer. The dwarfs deserve a shout out. Let's zoom in on those dwarfs for a sec because their story is nuts. In the cartoon, they're the heart of the movie. Funny little guys who help Snow White and sing while they work. But in this remake, they got treated like a hot potato Disney couldn't hold on to. First, Disney wanted real little person actors, which could have been awesome, like giving people cool jobs in a big movie. But after Peter Dinklage spoke up, they panicked and switched to CGI creatures. Picture glowing blobs doing chores, kind of creepy, right? Then, after fans complained, Disney reshot it and turned them into diverse bandits. So now they're just a random group of people, not even dwarves. It's like if your school play started with one cast, then swapped everyone out halfway through. No one knew what was going on, and it didn't feel like Snow White. Fans were like, no, just keep the dwarves. They're not offensive, they're awesome. It's a shame because the dwarfs could have been the best part if Disney stuck with them. What happens next? So, what's the fallout from this mess? Well, Disney's probably sweating right now. They lost a ton of money. And people are saying they might not remake their old classics for a while. It's like when you try a new recipe, burn it, and decide to stick to mac and cheese next time. Safe and simple. As for Rachel Zegler, her career's in a tricky spot. Some people in Hollywood are calling her box office poison, which means movies with her might not sell well. It's like if you kept losing at dodgeball. Your team might not pick you next game. But she's young and talented, so maybe she'll bounce back if she chills on the drama. The big lesson for us. What can we take away from this? Well, it's all about balance. If you're updating something people love, like a fairy tale or a game, you can make it fresh, but don't throw out the stuff that made it special. The prince, the dwarfs, the songs, that's the heart of Snow White. Changing too much is like rewriting Happy Birthday to be about homework. No one's singing that. Also, how you act matters. Rachel's got skills, but her attitude turned people off. It's like if you bragged about being the best at art, then drew something messy. People might not trust your hype next time. Let's wrap it up. All right, guys, that's the crazy tale of the new Snow White. It went from a fairy tale dream to a $300 million nightmare faster than you can say bibbity bobbity boo. Rachel Zegler's drama, Disney's wild changes, and some seriously weird songs turned this into a flop no one saw coming. Families didn't show up, fans were mad, and the magic was gone. What do you think? Did Disney mess up by changing too much? Or do you like the idea of a tougher Snow White? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. And hey, if you enjoyed this, smash that like button and subscribe for more fun breakdowns like this. Next time, we'll tackle something new. Maybe a movie that didn't bomb. See you later, fam.